Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. So, as you might gather from the scenery, we are back in the lovely land of Strasburg. So, you may notice that the route looks a little bit different than my previous videos, and that is because it is a different route. So, about, I don't know, month or two ago, KNL had posted on their Facebook page a link to a route, a Strasburg route, and this is that route. So we're going to kind of be reviewing this route. We're going to compare it to the other route, and we'll explain the benefits of each route and go from there. So without further ado, let's get into it. First off, let me just say that this route right here is a freeware route, whereas the other route that I have is a payware route. It costs you $10 US. So this is, it reminds me a lot of the old 2008 version of the Strasburg Railroad, which was my first Strasburg rendition on here. Not to say I created it, but it's the first Strasburg route that I run on here. It seems very much reminiscent of that in terms of textures and stuff. So, but let's kind of go over to the Strasburg yard, and then we will talk more. So we're gonna kind of zoom in or zoom out here, so that way you can actually hear me talk. But the main differences between this route and the previous route are going to be updated track work. It will include different buildings, and it will also be obviously different in terms of the details. So the major differences are going to be that you have an updated Strasburg shop. So you have the actual Strasburg shop now, which is pretty nice, not gonna lie. You have the same assets, Strasburg shops and whatnot as before, and we still are rocking the old Pensy Railroad Museum. So those are mainly it for buildings. So there is one more though. We do have an actual red caboose now, so this is no longer just a asset that's made to look like it. This is the actual model of it in game, so that's pretty cool, along with this building over here. But so without further ado, let's kind of explain things. So if we go over here, in this particular version of the route, we do have the updated Cagney line that stops here, and we do have a shed for the Cagney here, which I think is kind of cute. And the Cagney does go on to go across and up here, which is pretty neat. First thing you're going to notice right here is the weird texture mesh blend. That is because I do rock PBR textures, and I have my settings turned up to ultra, which turns on the PBR textures. So I just wanted to show you guys this route. Unless you want to modify the route, will not work with PBR textures. You will get a lot of blending like that. There will be a lot of that, and that's just from a PBR texture merging with a non-PBR texture. So just be aware that if you like running ultra settings, you might have to dial that down just a little bit to turn them off or replace the textures or something along those lines. But let's kind of go down here. We'll explain the differences here in a minute, but we just kind of want to glance over the route as a whole. So the reason I said that this route is very reminiscent of the other route is not only because of the textures, but if you come down here to the Amazing Maze, you have the same exact maze that was present on the older version. So it is in my opinion that this is just a very heavily modified version of the other route. And that is not anything bad against the route. I think it's nice. I actually do prefer the lighter grassy textures than the dark ones. Kind of makes it look more summery. But I have noticed that both routes, whether it be this route or the Payware route, has done different things better than the others, but it's also done worse than the others. So we'll kind of go into that in a little bit. But we're just going to continue down here and look at here. We do have the graveyard up here, which is pretty cool. And we do have a thing here. I'm not sure why the gates are down right here. That is a little odd because I have not been running Trainz, but I would imagine that's probably not going to be the case for everybody. Just a little bit of a nitpick, but there wouldn't be land here. It would actually be more of the shale covering, but that is okay. Very much reminds me of the older version of the route. One thing I did notice is that we do have 3D and animated cows now. I think that goes for all the animals, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at that. We have goats, chickens, roosters, pigs, sheep. Alright, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The older version did not have any of that. And even the other Payware version did not have nearly as many options for 3D animals, so that's pretty cool. We're still rocking the pretty much perpendicular crossing here. That's actually not the case. It never curves down. It would just be straight and would probably come across at more of an angle right about here. So this does appear to be a very heavily modified version of the other route. Nice added thing though, we do have the hill here and we do have Eshelman Run here. That's pretty nice. We do not have... Oh, they did put the tunnel here. That's actually pretty cool. If you're ever down here in the park, let's see if they did the park. Oh, and they got the little railfan camera too. That's pretty cool. For those of you who don't know, Virtual Railfan does have a live feed camera here and at Strasburg that you can go onto YouTube and search Strasburg Railroad Live, and it would be right about here, and you can watch the trains come down and pull away. So it's nice for those of you who don't live close that want to watch the Strasburg Railroad. Sometimes they do have cameramen that operate the camera to zoom in and stuff, but if you've ever been down here and feel like exploring, you can actually hop over the fence, come down here, and there's a pretty cool little bridge way back here, which is very nice. So pretty cool. They do have the little canal, old canal here, so that's nice. Let's see, the mill. The mill looks very nice. Actually looks pretty accurate to the real thing. And this one doesn't have weird Chinese symbols on it, so I'm definitely a fan of this one over the old one. We do have the track yard in here. We got some logs and all the scraps, so that's nice. This used to be a used siding, and now sometimes Amtrak will store stuff here, but it's just basically a maintenance away storage track at this point. And then we got a bunch more scraps, so that's pretty cool. I give this an A+. Let's see, the blacksmith shop could use a little bit of improvement, but I like how they have the stone and stuff outside. They are missing the little gravel path down to here, along with the gravel path beside the railroad, so probably will be adding that in the future. Just to put this out there, this is the base version of the route. This is 0 modifications by me at all. I do have another version where I have updated some of this stuff, but it's going to take me some time to add a lot of the other details that I want to be in this route. One cool thing worth note is that they do actually have a what appears to be an updated version of the concrete slab tie rails, which is really nice. I would imagine if they're a new rail, they probably have new rail sounds with it, so that's pretty cool. My biggest gripe with the other ones, and I had tried fixing it with truck bogie sounds, is that once you hit 75 miles an hour, your track sounds cut out and you're just left with the basic generic Trainz like tick 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 tick, and it's the most annoying thing. In my opinion, it just kind of like takes away from all the realism. So that would be really cool to see if that's like that. And I can tell you from running it that it does. You can run trains at the full 110 miles an hour and they still have track sounds, so pretty cool. We got a bridge here, that's nice. I like the fact that this one does not have all the graffiti on it, so that's pretty cool. Now this one I know for a fact does have the yard down here, so that's very nice. I know a lot of you were asking about how I did that and stuff. Well, now you don't have to make it yourself. Alright, the old Pensy things. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about those. They look a little bit dated in terms of their design, texture-wise. May have to replace those, but overall nice. I'll keep them for now. That's pretty cool. Alright, and the yard. Oh my goodness, PBR texture nightmares. Alright, that's cool. They got the basic track layout. They got it coming up to here. They got the transloading track over here, and then the storage tracks over here. So that's pretty nice. It's actually nicer than the one that I created. And you got your nice facility here. I had some extra details here, but it's not really necessary. They did handle the hill here wonderfully. Oh, that's interesting. This is all just a flat top. That's creative, very creative. Alright. The biggest issue that I had with creating this was the hillside. You didn't want the hill to come in here and mess with the track, so that's pretty smart. Alright, if this route is anything like the previous route, it's going to continue on this way quite a bit for the Amtrak side of things, which it does. That's pretty nice. Alright, and then that obviously would be towards Lancaster and Harrisburg, and this would be towards that. Something interesting that I kind of glanced over here, they actually have the proper reroute of the roads. So way back in the day, this route, a road over here, and this route, a road over here, geez, I don't know why I'm saying route, used to be connected, and they would cross the Amtrak tracks right about here. And Amtrak got rid of their grade crossings here so that they could maintain over, 80-mile-an-hour speeds plus safety concerns. So they actually rerouted the road. So now if you want to get to this route, you actually have to go down here, around to this road, under the railroad here, up here, and then you turn, and then it would come back down. So you're doing a big giant loop and a half to get from there to there. So, and for those of you who would want to cross it anyway illegally, you can't, because now there's giant piles of stuff that blocks you from doing it. So that's pretty interesting. That's a nice little detail that they added there. Buildings are about the same as what they were. No driveways, no yard work, but I don't really expect that because realistically nobody's coming out here with a Strasburg train anyways. So if you're running to Strasburg, then you're going to stop at Lehman Place. And if you're running Amtrak, well, there's way better routes to run Amtrak on. So there's that. But yeah, we do have, at least an attempt at scenery, which is nice. I do gather that this is built for more mid-range to lower end. I wouldn't say lower end, more mid-range PCs. So that's nice because a lot of people have lower end systems than what I'm rocking. So that's nice. Nice little details here with the split bridge. That's pretty cool. Very nice. Alright, overall opinions are positive. I am a fan of this. Oh, they even got the little park here. That's pretty cool. Alright, so overall opinions, not bad, not bad. I could nitpick a couple of things. But overall, very, very nice. I would say in terms of base routes, overall, this is pretty on par with the payware version, and actually is better than the payware version in that it has expanded yard down here. The payware version, the grade here is a lot steeper than what it should be, so this is nice because it's a nice 1.5-ish% grade, which is nice. So that's pretty cool. You got 3D, animated. Oh, look at that, and the cow even moves. That's pretty cool. A little funky looking, like he's got a little bit of a limp, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Let's see, what else does the railroad come with? It does come with some pre-loaded trains and stuff, so we'll kind of view those. It does not come with any of the Strasburg equipment. That is just a little bit of a warning for any of you. This goes for any of the Strasburg routes, whether it's freeware, payware. If you want to run Strasburg properly, Strasburg's going to cost you. Unfortunately, well, you can go way, way back and you can find a freeware version of 90. And you can probably kit bash a 260 Mogul to make 89. But all the Strasburg cars and stuff, they're all made by K&L and they are payware. So what I would recommend for those of you who are on a budget is use this route and buy the K&L payware that you want. Buy the 475 pack that comes with a lot of the passenger equipment that you're going to be used to running, and then 90 will give you the old stuff, like the old versions of the cars. But anyway, let's kind of get into the Railroad Museum here. Let's see what they have to offer. One thing I'm not a fan of is that all the engines are whirring and stuff, so it's not quiet. It's kind of annoying when you're over here running trains and all you hear is like passenger terminals style sounds. But alright, let's see. Got a couple of Pensy stuff. We got some box cars. That's pretty nice. Do have the crane. That's actually pretty cool. I do like that H10 that they got. That's actually something that you can't find anymore, so that's pretty cool. You could probably update those textures and it would look really good. Alright, so the cool things that I see in there are you've got the 282 and then you've actually got the Cumberland, Pennsylvania coach, which is actually really, really cool. That is nice. Alright, moving on down to the good old red caboose. Let's see what cabooses we got. Definitely lives up to his name of Red Caboose. Now in real life there aren't nearly as many red cabooses, but I can get down with this. That's pretty cool. And honestly, these cabooses don't seem that bad of textures, so overall impressions are positive. I am a fan. Pretty cool. Alright, and the diner cars, the Jamie Jones. Just a P70 coach, alright, pretty cool. Alright, let's see the Toy Train Museum here. That's interesting. They're using a Tamaqua station. That's funny. Alright, that's pretty cool. That gave me a laugh. Alright, I am a fan. Overall impressions of this route, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Seriously, if you're on a budget, this is the route for you. Let's go in, but let's talk about some of the things that they missed here. So, track work is perfect. It's very updated to where it should be. Even the Cagney line is great. So I have no problems there. Museum track looks perfectly fine. Technically speaking, in here should be 6 tracks, not 4, but that's just a little bit of a nitpick. You can fix that in like 3 seconds. Across the road here, you got cars parked in the grass. This would actually be a parking lot, but overall nice. I'm not going to go into the PBR texture problem because that is solely if you are rocking PBR textures, as I said before. Okay, an interesting choice in shops here, but pretty nice overall. First thing, I say it in every single one of these, is the fact that this track right here, whoops, sorry, trying to zoom while I'm trying to go parallel. Overall impressions, the track work is fine. You might want to put like a bumper there if you're trying to actually park trains here, but it's very flat, and this is actually on a raised little abutment here. So just a little bit of nitpick there, and let's see. This would also be raised here, and they're using the same building here that was in the other one, but this would actually be parallel with this road, and it would come down, and this would be the Hampshire Mill, or what remains of it. Oh, there we go. There's the old thing that used to be down at the Paradise. That's one of the buildings they used for the mill, and it always bugged me that it had a bunch of Chinese or Japanese symbols on it. But that's cool. Now it's over there, a little bit of an homage to the old railroad, so that's nice. They do have 3D trees, so that is very nice. The old ones were just your old 2008, you know, flat trees. I am really a fan of the, oh, they got horses that walk around too, that's pretty cool. Alright. I really do like this route. The biggest nitpicks that I have are just small things, really, really small things. The biggest one for me, and that's just because I did so much work with it, is going to be the Amazing Maze. I have no problem with this being the way it is. I just will give all of you a heads up. In this, it's not much of a problem because there's not too many of them, but these are very old corn splines, and they do bog down your GPU something crazy. If you're interested in making a more realistic version of the Amazing Maze and want it to actually use 3D corn, then I do have a tutorial video on my channel, so I would definitely go check that out. It's not going to be easy, it will take you a lot of time, but it is, in my opinion, it makes for a much more cool, thing. But yeah, overall opinions, if you're riding down on the train, you're not really going to notice it too much. You're going to see that. So you got the tower and the basics, and you got a few people scattered throughout, so it's nice. Oh god, the barnyard. It's nice that they tried, but yeah. This is the one area where I will say that the payware version definitely very clearly outshines this particular version. I do like the animals here, but yeah, there's just a lot of stuff missing, like the barn and the other stuff. You got the nice little parking lot over here, which is nice. We got the chicken things over here, the actual farm over here. And they did try and expand it, so they got the apple launchers and stuff, so that's nice. This cornfield is now pretty much all extra parking from there, because this fills up really quick now, and this is all overflow parking. There is a lot more stuff going over on the left side of the tracks here. The maze it's decent, but it definitely looks exactly like the previous one, so a little bit of a disappointment there. You do have the paths and stuff. It'll get the job done. Don't get me wrong. If you're sitting here, it looks okay, but I definitely say that the other one does it a lot better. But going down here, Groff's Grove looks fine. I may want to delete some of these grass textures. But you got the playground here, you got some of the picnic tables, that's nice. And let's see, did they add the porta potty on the hill? No. Well, that's actually accurate, believe it or not. The porta potty would be right about here, but they, I believe, took it out, so the porta potty isn't there anymore. But back when I was a kid, there used to be like an outhouse thing over here, like a wooden one. And, yeah, that's what you had to do, and it smelled awful. But, yeah, you know, you do what you gotta do. It's nice that you got horses in here. You do have the hills here, which is nice. In the payware version, this is all flat, which annoys me. Unfortunate that they missed it, but this would also be elevated in here. There would be a little bit of a cut here. So, but that's not hard. You can just go in with a topography tool and adjust that. Going down here, I would like to flatten this or have the hill be a little bit different and mimic the payware version where it's the gravel mound. But I don't know, I could get used to that. I actually kind of like that view a lot, so I might just keep it. Pumpkinville Turnpike, good. They actually did a really good job of blending the gravel ballast and stuff, so that's actually a very big positive. The payware version did not, so good job. This route, or this rare, I don't know why I keep saying route for road. This road would actually, if I zoom out here, starts from here and goes down, and it's a straight line, so it would actually hit right about here, the other side of this tree, rather than here, and it would be more of a slanting, more of a slant. It wouldn't be a more or less perpendicular. But it's nice they do have the trees and stuff here. There would be a little bit of a raise in the topography, much like that, so a little bit of a miss there. And they don't bring it back up until way over here by the fields, so this would actually be, it's a little bit off, but I do like that they actually, you know, dug this out a little bit and included the creek and stuff. That's nice. Alright, moving on down here, very hard to do, so I can't blame them, but this would be lower than this one. Let's see, it's usually most prevalent here, but they're flat, not a big deal, very hard to do, and honestly I probably won't be doing that again because it was such a pain in my butt to do. The park is here, that's nice. It could use a little bit more detail. the fence is a little bit too far back from the road. It'd be more in line with these bushes, and actually would extend to about right here, not right there, but overall nice, very nice. Maybe add a few more trees because you definitely would not be able to see down there. So bushes, trees. But that's nice that you can see the trains coming. I would definitely put more trees on the side of the tracks because you don't see them curve up and around. They usually lose sight right about here. But one thing that this route does better than the payware route is that if you are looking right here, you can see all the way down to this curve right here, which is really, really nice. The other one, I don't really know why they opted to do it, but the railroad kind of like right about here goes up a hill and doesn't crest until right about here at the switch. So you don't see the trains coming until all of a sudden they're right there. And that just kind of annoyed me because I like watching the Strasburg live cam, and a lot of times they'll zoom in and you can see the train coming from all the way down there. So that's nice. Good job. As mentioned before, this needs quite a bit of work. It's definitely using some older textures here, or older assets rather, and they didn't include any of the stuff down here. So that actually will annoy me because I do plan on kind of like mimicking the photo ops and that kind of thing. And if you're doing the ride-along sessions, that would be down here and you'd park here. So that I will be fixing. Let's go into here. Let's see if they got things right. Sorta, kinda, more or less. Yeah, overall, more or less, this road doesn't actually exist here. It would curve off onto the unknown, but not bad. This would be the something or other church. Doesn't look like that church, but they got a church here. If you ever go down here and park here, this road that's mimicked to go off over here actually shoots from those trees right here where my mouse is straight across here. So this road, they've done it in every version, but it definitely shouldn't do that. It should cut down here. So right where my cursor is here and shoot to there. That's what it should do. Right across. And it doesn't. But you can adjust that. That's not really hard to do, but that is how it does in real life. Alright, other things. I'm not gonna get into that. That's not really a thing. The creek that goes off there. Like, yes, it's there, but it's not nearly as noticeable. But fun little fact: before the this became its current state, when it was owned by the Philadelphia and Reading, it actually used to go right about here, and then would curve off somewhere down here. So pretty neat little bit of information. It more or less followed the creek bed, but not really. But pretty interesting. And that was, I think they rerouted it in 1869 or somewhere along there. So it's not really a gripe against the thing. It's just more of a fun little history fact. But yeah, that's it. That's my opinion on this route. Overall, very positive. I think I'll probably be switching to it. Just a little PSA for those of you who want to run this. I would definitely say that turn off your PBR textures. Make sure that you grab the KNL payware for it if you would like to run it properly. It's kind of a necessity for Strasburg at this point. But I suppose you could sub in the Strasburg coaches for some of these P70 coaches if you're on a budget. And you could probably go find yourself the Strasburg 90 that's on the download station. Granted, it is old, but it is there. You can find it as downloadable. Yeah, overall impressions is positive. Yeah, not much to say. We'll kind of zoom out here and go with an outro. My apologies for not really being with YouTube too much in the past couple of months. A lot of stuff has been going on, and haven't really been focused on YouTube as a career as much. YouTube was always meant to be more of this just fun thing to do in my spare time, not really something that really is meant to be a career, as it were. So I do plan on putting out videos here and there, but it's just I'm not sure how frequent they're going to be, if that makes any sense. But I do plan on I still have in the works my video where I backdate the previous version of Strasburg to make it look like it's in the 60s or the 40s. Ironically, the one from the 40s was very easy to complete. I have that all ready to go. The thing that took me the most time and still kind of chewing up my time is the 60s version. 60s/80s version. Because the interesting thing is the track work in the Strasburg yard here has changed so much since they first bought it. Obviously, the Cagney line isn't there, and the maintenance shops aren't there, and none of these spurs are there. But a lot of for instance, this track right here that stops abruptly here used to go up and be parallel with here. In the 80s version, this track here used to connect out to the main line right here. If you can't kind of see it, but it does. This wasn't there. The shops were, and there's a little bit, but and then what I found out is that in the old version of Strasburg, excuse me, the old version of Strasburg, the parking lot here used to be on this side of the road. None of the stores and stuff used to be here in the 60s version, so there's a lot of details that I want to get right on this, so I'm not making that video just yet. But sorry for the kind of rambling nature of the video. It's pretty much par for the course at this point, but anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please stay tuned. I do plan on creating more videos. I have decided against widening the channel for now. I was thinking about expanding it to other games, like Sea of Thieves. I do play that a lot, and it is a hell of a lot of fun. But seeing as how this channel was founded on Trainz, I kind of want to keep it with Trainz. So, yeah. I really do thank all of you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.